Welcome back everyone, I'm here. Today we're taking a look at the Realme GT 5G and this is a flagship phone. A lot of people are calling it the Flagship Killer, but I just look at it as this is a great device. The price is going to be half of what you're going to pay for some of those other smartphones, but this does have a ton of features packed in that you don't normally get on a budget phone, but also missing a couple features, and we're going to get into that as well. So with this video, we're going to unbox it, we're going to do a full review, we're going to go over the pros and the cons, drop your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now before we see what's in the box, let's go over some of the main specifications and features of the Realme GT. The processor is going to be a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 5G mobile platform processor. And now this does have a dual nano card slot for your SIM card. So essentially you can have two SIM cards in the phone at the same time. With this, you get coexistence between 5G and 4G, and you also have the option to have dual GPS. So definitely a cool addition, especially if you have different networks, or maybe you have two SIMs that you want to use on one phone. This is a great addition. For this particular model, we have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, but they do have different variances. They do have a 12 gig, 256 variants. As far as the colors, it comes in 3 basic colors: Dashing Blue, Dashing Silver, and Racing Yellow. Today we're testing the Racing Yellow, of course. The display size is 6.4 inch. This is a Super AMOLED display with the resolution of 2400 by 1080p, and this is full HD. Now the max refresh rate is going to be 120 Hertz, and the maximum brightness on the screen is 1000 nits. As far as the battery and charger, we're looking at a 65 watt SuperDart charger, guys. Now this will charge your device from 0 to 100% in about 35 minutes. Now doing my test, I did find this, it takes about 40 minutes, but not much in between, and depending on the situation, I find this pretty accurate. Camera is sporting the Sony 64 megapixel triple camera. Now this includes a 119 degree ultra wide angle lens. The primary is going to be 64 megapixel, the secondary is going to be 8 megapixel, and the micro lens is going to be 2 megapixel. We'll go through the different shooting modes as well as the different options within your camera. Some of the other features is HDR, face recognition, night mode, bokeh effect, face distortion correction, passport photo. So a lot of cool features built into this one. And last but not least, the operating system on this is the Realme UI 2.0, and this is based on Android 11. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what's in the box. Here's a look at the box, guys. The box is going to be plain, just says Realme GT on the front, 5G. And you can see right there the README. This version that I have is the yellow version. So here's some of the main features there. Hey, welcome to the Realme family. SIM kit on the front. You're also going to have a screen. This is just a rubber gel protective screen, just an addition to help you protect your phone. You also have a user's manual, quick start guide, and here's the rest of the contents in the box. So USB-A to USB-C. And the last thing in the box is going to be the SuperDart charger. So input, of course, is 100 to 130, and the output is going to be 2 amp or 10 volts. Nothing else in the box. But this is where the excitement really starts, and it starts by flipping the phone over. Let's go ahead and peel this off. So first thing on the bottom, you're going to have headphone jacks, microphone, speakers right here, and we do have the USB-C for the charging. Power button on the side. You have another microphone up here on the top. On the other side, you're going to have your SIM tray, your volume rocker, and on the front, you're going to have your cutout. This is going to be for your camera, of course, and this does come with a screen protector already installed. So go ahead. So I got it peeled off, and this is a nice looking phone, guys. So first thing, you're gonna have the racing inspired stripes on the back. So on the back, you're gonna see that you have 3 cameras. Of course, you're gonna have your main camera, your telephoto, as well as your wide angle. You do have a flash right here, and a nice little finish right here. This is a glossy finish, but the yellow is made of this rubber leather feeling texture material. Feels really good, guys. There is a little bit of give. Feels really nice when it's in your hands. So they did include a screen protector, of course, but also included a case where you can go ahead and just drop this in. Love the fact that the case is actually a transparent case. We'll be ashamed to really hide the colors of this phone. So for people who prefer the texture and the feel, they're going to remove the case anyway, but love the fact that there is a case included. Now the camera bump is another thing that's very minimal on this phone. It protrudes barely from the phone. Do feel it with your fingers. However, when you lay it on a flat surface, it's hardly noticeable and the phone doesn't really move that much. But if it really bothers you, you can put the case on and this again becomes completely flat and you shouldn't have any wobble at all. So let's power it on and get it set up and we'll jump into the user interface. Now one thing I noticed that the yellow doesn't pop as much when I have the actual case on the phone. Yes, it's transparent and it still shows off the great design of the phone, but it doesn't pop as much. So I found myself taking on and off depending which mood I'm in. So the setup was pretty straightforward. If you've set up any smartphone, not Apple smartphone in the past couple years, anything Android based, you're gonna agree to the terms and condition. You're going to connect to your Wi-Fi, sign up for an account, connect your Google account, and you're all set. As far as security, for me, I did set up the fingerprint, set up a password, and I did also added my face for the face recognition. So just a quick look of how responsive this unlocking mechanism is. Not only is the fingerprint super fast, also the face recognition was really surprisingly quick, guys. As you can see here, when I turn it away from my face, it's looking for my face, but when I turn the phone slightly to the right towards my face, it unlocks almost instantly. The fingerprint sensor was just as impressive. This is an in-screen fingerprint sensor and it also worked pretty well, but really impressed with both. So either one you choose, or if you choose both like I did, you shouldn't have any issues. So here we are in the user interface. If you guys are Android users, you should really feel at home with this telephone, guys. So these are the main apps that's going to be presented on the main screen. If you swipe to the left, you're going to get to your news feed, or you can go ahead and search Google right away. Swipe to the right, you're going to get into more applications or your screens, and if you swipe up, you're going to get into all of your applications. So below you have your menu, you have your home, and you have the back button, just like you do on any Android device. Now if you swipe up from the top, you're going to get a couple quick launch settings. So you have your Wi-Fi, data, Bluetooth. You do have a flashlight on here that you can go ahead and turn on, and you have your GPS as well. Now it also has an option to turn the brightness all the way up. So this is max brightness right here, guys. And let me just swipe it back down, and you can turn the brightness down. I like it right there in the middle. Now if you swipe again, you're going to get to your secondary menus. So you do have the Bluetooth, the ringer settings, your auto rotate is right there. You also have your do not disturb, screen recording is built in, personal hotspot as well. And if you swipe to the right, you have screencast as well as the GT mode. So what GT mode basically maximizes your phone's performance, but may consume more power and cause your phone to heat up. If you guys are doing something heavy, maybe some gaming, that'll be a mode to go ahead and try out. So about this phone, it is the Realme GT 5G, gives you the baseband, Realme 2.0, Android version 11, 8 gigs of RAM, does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 octa-core processor, telling me that it has 105 gigabyte available and 128 total. Now go back to your setting, you do have personalization, your home and lock screen, display and brightness. Let's go ahead and check that out. So by default, you do have a dark mode as well as a light mode. Completely up to you, your preference. I prefer the light mode usually, but they also have an auto switch function, which basically switches to dark mode at sunset. So that's something I'm going to go ahead and turn on. It does have the brightness control right there as well. Further down, it has the auto brightness. Auto brightness is basically when it detects a certain amount of light, it will go ahead and brighten your screen just to make it a lot better. You have eye comfort, auto rotate, screen lock, and you do have a color temperature that you can go ahead and choose from. As far as your screen color mode, you have 3 basic options. You have vivid, which is on right now. You have gentle, and then you have brilliant. So I just leave it at vivid. You also have an image sharpener and a video color enhancer. And if you guys are wondering about the 120 Hz, this is where you'll find the setting under more. So if I click more, it has 3 basic options. So refresh rate, I do have it set to high. By default, high refresh rate will set it at 120 Hz. You do have standard, which sets it at 60 Hz. So it is going to save you a little bit of battery. And you do have the auto select. And what this does is automatically select the best refresh rate for the application that you're using. So for me, this is a flagship phone, so only right that I leave it on 120 Hz. So as far as the web browsing, the 120 Hz really shows itself off. It's super smooth, and probably can't translate this on camera, but this is pretty snappy. I am definitely impressed with the scrolling and how smooth and buttery it is. let's go ahead and we'll check out YouTube. So this is a video I did a couple weeks ago on the T-Mobile hotspot. Now let's go ahead and test out the volume, but if you turn it up and down and you click the two dots right there, you do have different controls, guys. So you do have your media control, you have your ringtone, notifications, and you have your alarm. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. Triple M here, and today we're unboxing and testing T-Mobile's home internet. For you guys that didn't watch my intro video to this, what this is a 5G/4G device, sits in your house and provides high-speed internet connectivity for every device in your house. Now this does work on the 4G as well as the 5G network. They said that they're going to give you speed. So auto rotate, and it tells you that you can pinch to go ahead and to get it to that full screen, which I think looks better. Now this is where you can kind of see how great this looks. It does have a small chin. It is a little bit thinner on the top, and of course the camera cutout is up top. So good thing about Google devices or Android devices, and this is not a shot at Apple devices, but they have true multitasking, guys, which means that if I hit the home button, you still have this window right here, and the video is still playing. You can move it to where you want to. And to take it even further, if you hit the three lines right here, you can see your recent applications. So if I click on the two dots, I can select split screen. Now I can select a second application to join that mode with. So Chrome. So I still have the video going. I'm still browsing here. And you can also drag it to make whichever window you want bigger, which I think is another great addition. And let's just listen to the volume once again. Jack. So these are for your wired device. Below that, you're going to have a telephone jack. You also have a USB-C port, a UPS port, as well as your main power. So just speaking with the T-Mobile reps, some of the ports are not designed to be functional as of yet. Some of them will be activated via firmware update. Really impressed with the speakers. They sound really good and loud enough for any application. Now this also has a headphone jack, don't forget. So if you wanted to plug in your headphone, you do have that option as well. Now let's get into the camera a little bit. Within the camera, you have a couple options, guys. You have your night mode, video, photography, portrait. You have the 64mm, and you have the options for more. Now under more, you're gonna have your dual view video. So let's go ahead and check that out. So you can see there, I have my front facing up top. I have the rear facing at the bottom, and I can go ahead and swap them. So nice little addition. So besides that, you have your slow mode, you have your time lapse, movie, expert, panoramic. You have a text scanner, and you have the ultra macro. So if you guys are crazy into photography and want to check out some of those features, they are there for you to check out. So before I get into some sample photos and videos, if you look up top, guys, you do have HDR, so you do have the option to turn that on and off. You have your different filters, and if you swipe to video, you are going to have some additional options. So if you pull down, you can see the resolution is set to 1080p. This maxes out at 4K. So if you switch to 4K, you have 60 frames and you have 30 frames per second. You also have 720p, and if you switch there, you have 30 as well as 60 frames. You have bokeh effect right there, which basically blurs out everything in the background. And if you look at the dots on their photo or video, you have the option to switch to ultra wide, 1x, or you can zoom all the way to 10x. So the cameras has a lot of cool features, like I said, and we'll go ahead and put some sample videos up there right now. So overall, testing the camera was pretty good. It wasn't great, and it wasn't overall impressive in my opinion. It's fully capable. You can see I took photos and the zoom works. However, when you zoom in too much, either on a photo or a video, you are going to notice some noise as well as blur on your photos. Now I should point out that when it zooms in on video, it zooms up to 10 times, and when it's on photo, it will zoom up to 20 times. Panoramic was great as well. I was also able to get slow motion both in 1080p and in 720p, and that worked well. Now the night mode on the photo was pretty impressive. You can see these pictures. I am taking a picture with it on and with it off, and you can see how much brighter the photo is with the night mode on. So definitely recommended for nighttime shooting. As far as the quality, yes, I have 4K footage right there. I did try the steady mode. didn't really notice any difference, but I did notice that whether it's in steady or when it's in normal recording, when you're moving around, guys, you are going to get some blur, you are going to get some jittering, and you can get some jelloing effect on your video. So that's something to really look out for, that works better when you're holding still. A lot of movement's going to throw it off a little bit. Now this phone is built for gaming. You can do that by turning on the GT settings. So when you turn it on, you get a nice graphic, there's a nice motor sound, and basically this is putting it in performance mode, getting ready to do some heavy lifting. So I was able to game on this with no issues. Anything from the App Store, this should be able to handle. You can see there I'm playing Asphalt, no issues there. The response was pretty good. I really suck at this game, but as far as performance, no hiccups, no stuttering, no lag, no jitters, and this is great for some mobile gaming. Now, same thing with Special Forces, another game that was found in the App Store. This is a first-person shooter, of course. Me, I don't normally game on a mobile phone. I like to hook up a controller because I feel like my fingers are in the way. But however, if you're in the bind and you have some time to kill and you want to go ahead and game on it, like I said, this should handle it with no issues. Really confident, and while gaming I didn't experience any excessive heat. So with all this said and done, let's go over the pros and cons and some of the things that makes this worth the money, in my opinion. So let's start out with the cons. So some of the cons, of course, is one, there is no wireless charging. So if you're someone who's heavily invested in wireless charging, maybe you have a lot of wireless chargers in your house, this is not going to be the phone for you because that option is not there. Also, this is not IP certified. So if you drop this in water, if you accidentally put it in a wash machine, this is going to damage the phone. So keep that in mind as well. Another thing that I wasn't really impressed with is the camera and its overall performance. Like I said, it's fully capable of taking pictures, videos, as well as 4K videos, but it does have some issues, especially when you're moving around. You can see noticeable jitters on your footage as well as on the phone itself while you're doing the recording. As far as the pros, the phone itself was a great size in my opinion. It is exactly the size of the iPhone. Screen was buttery, 120 Hz, just make this a lot smoother. It does have a lot of built-in features which I like. The Realme UI was really impressive. The gaming on this was really good, and overall I just think this is worth the money. So like I said, drop your thoughts in the comments, let me know what you think. I will be leaving a link where you can go ahead and pick it up. Remember, this comes in 3 different colors. Also comes in a 12 gig and 256 gig variant. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.